Hi there, my name is Paul, and thanks for stopping by. Now, the whole purpose of this channel is to show you that you can turn your life around at any age. Um, I'm 65, I turned 65 probably a couple of weeks ago, and a bunch of things happened around my 65th birthday, which gave me a big kick in the butt. And I decided it was time to make some major changes in my life, and I wanted to put this together on video to show you you can change your life no matter how young or how old you are if you take action. So for me, I was 210 pounds, which for me is a lifetime high. My normal weight when I was younger was somewhere between 170, 165, and 175 for most of my life until the last sort of 10 years. Sometimes you get older, there's stress and stuff like that. But it had a bunch of really negative effects on my life. Number one was my blood pressure, besides my weight. And my blood pressure, instead of being 120 over 80, ended up being 150 over 110. And I knew the direction I was going to was going to be a heart attack. And that wasn't going to work very well. Next thing, so I needed to get my weight down. I needed to get my blood pressure down. I needed to, I've done own my own business in the past, and I've gone through a couple of years where I haven't had any income, and I decided that's got to change as well. And the last thing was about 5 or 6 years ago, when I was kind of approaching the late 50s, I decided I really wanted to get something done with my teeth and have my teeth looking so I wouldn't have to worry about them the rest of my life. Boy, oh boy, that was a big mistake. I found a place in Mexico called Cancun Cosmetic Dentistry, and it was an absolute nightmare. And I paid them, I don't know, 10 grand or something like that. And by the time I was through, I have no teeth. All my bottom teeth, everything they did fell out. And not just that, there's another video here on my channel because I'm going to put a scathing video online. Besides everything falling out, they also put a tooth way up here where I didn't need it. They put a post way up here where I now have to spend 5 grand getting it surgically removed. So you never know what's going to happen in your life. Life isn't always fair, and sometimes it throws you a curve here and there. And the real trick is what you do between here and how you change your thoughts to deal with the times. And here we are in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody planned for this one. I sure didn't, and I'm sure you didn't. And so here's even not only being 65, but here we are in the middle of a pandemic trying to make some major changes in my life. And again, if I can do this, the whole reason I'm putting this up is to inspire you to make whatever changes you need to change your life. And it's got to start with you, and it's got to start by taking action. So here I've probably started this about 3.5 weeks ago. And here's what I've been able to accomplish. The first thing I went after was my weight, and I knew that that would have an effect on my blood pressure. And so, number one, the very first thing I did was quit drinking. Pandemic was pretty stressful. Found myself drinking way too much beer, which beer goes right to your nice little stomach. And so that was it. I woke up on the 19th, a couple days after my birthday, and said, that's it. I've had enough with alcohol, and it's time to do something completely different in my life. And so I quit, just cold turkey. I said, I realized it was stopping me from taking action, and it was having a negative effect with somebody I care about, and it was having a negative effect on me. I was waking up groggy, I wasn't sleeping, it was affecting so many different areas in my life, especially around my health. So I quit cold turkey. But it wasn't just that, I'd been wanting to quit for a while. I'd quit for 5 years, about 5, 6 years ago. And I made a mistake starting again. And I'll tell you something, if you don't drink, or if you've quit drinking, don't start again. Stopping the second time around was 10 times harder than it was the first time. But this just was something happened, an act of God or something. Maybe God said, you got to change your life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not super religious, but something just snapped inside of me and said, it's time to do something completely different with your life. So I quit drinking, and what came with the quit drinking was then I started exercising. My sleep for the first 2 or 3 weeks was absolutely horrible. I would sort of make it an hour or two. I think my kidneys were trying to clear out all the crap out of my kidneys, so I was waking up every hour or two wanting to go to the bathroom. I started drinking lots more water. but the sleep was still not 100% there. And I think part of the problem was when I started putting on weight, I got sleep apnea, and that also affects your thinking, it affects your mood, and it affects all the stuff that you're doing trying to go forward. So this is a process. It's not a one shot, just turn a switch, quit drinking, all of a sudden your life gets better. So I quit the booze. I started a thing called intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is what you do is you cut down the window where you're eating. Like we're sort of trained in Western society. There's lots of food. Get up in the morning, have a coffee and a baguette or something like that, or a bowl of cereal or some bacon and eggs at sort of 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you go through and you snack, and then you have lunch, and then you go through a little bit longer, and sometime around dinner, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, you're having dinner. So you've been eating for 12 hours and consuming food, and that doesn't give your body time to burn fat. So that stopped. And so what I did was intermittent fasting means is you shorten that 8-hour window down to something that you feel comfortable with. So it could be you have breakfast or brunch at noon, and you have your last meal at 6 o'clock, or or 10 to 6, but you cut the window down. And the more you cut that window down, the more it gives your body to burn the fat. And so I cut my window down actually about 4 hours, from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 7. I have a salad and then some fish or protein or something, and I cut back on carbs. And that really seemed to make a difference. And the pounds, there was a couple of days I got up there and I was down 2 pounds in a day. And so my weight went from 110, I'm down right now about 194. And this is about 3 weeks in. So 16 pounds in about 3 weeks, so almost a pound a day on average. It went up because you got to be really conscious if you go on fast or whatever, that you understand the fast. You need to do some research on what breaks a fast. And I was doing a couple things that were actually working detrimental to me, and it was really just simply out of ignorance. So that has helped a lot. Next, I started exercising, something I hadn't been doing in a long time. And I just started walking. And I've been walking pretty well 5, 6, 7 days a week. I'm walking sort of average 12 to 14,000 steps a day. I walk from where I am. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It's an absolutely stunningly gorgeous countryside. And there's a golf course about a couple of miles or so from here. And there's a trail that goes around the golf course. So I'll walk from here up the alleys and stuff and get over to the golf course. And I'll walk a couple times around the golf course and then walk back here. Today, where I'm at 15,483 steps. And here we are, it's like 7 o'clock at night, give or take. And it's just a matter of staying consistent with it. And so I saw the pounds come off. I feel better because of the lack of alcohol. I have a lot more incentive, for example, to do these videos. This is one of the things. I'm working with a buddy of mine. We're into working on creating some stuff online, and part of that's creating content. And this is one of the things that I wanted, because to me, I really wanted to give back. And so let's go back to my blood pressure. So my blood pressure when I started this 3 weeks ago was 150 over 110 when I did it. This morning when I took my blood pressure, it was 121 over 78. And so that's how much a difference. Quitting alcohol, cleaning up my diets. I basically cut out carbs. So I'm not eating sugar. I'm not eating cookies. I'm not eating any of the crap that would be detrimental. And keto, I've been really working on what the keto diet. What keto diet basically is you cut out carbs. And the carbs it burns the sugar, and it's not as effective as burning off fat as the keto diet is. And if you don't know about the keto diet and you want to lose some weight, no matter how old you are, check out the keto diet. So you use intermittent fasting and also use the keto diet, and then which means cutting out all carbs, basically all carbs. So I cut out everything: sugar, cookies, pop, juice, all that crap that turns into sugar, which affects your insulin resistance. And that's made a remarkable difference. It's just given me so much more energy right from when I get up in the morning to take action and do things like this. I've been putzing around with this phone I bought from China, which unfortunately hasn't been very good. It's called a Umidji F2, and whatever you do, don't buy this, except it has an amazing camera. This is the front selfie camera, and it's 32 megapixel, which is allowing me to be able to do this here with that kind of thing. So take action, number one. Set some goals too. Like I have a goal to have my weight down to 170 by sort of the end of August. So I've still got another couple of months, 2.5 months, and I don't feel any problem. Now, another thing that I've been doing is the last couple of weeks, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s or 30s, I tried fasting. And, we always hear about fasting and stuff like that. My longest fast so far in my life was 21 days and no food. And I don't remember drinking anything other than water with cayenne pepper or something ridiculous way back in the days. And I lost, at that time, I was disgusted with myself. I was up to 190, which I'm actually above still after losing a bunch of weight. And my weight just fell off. The funny thing about long-term fasting, at least when I was younger, it's not so much this time, and I'm not sure why, was when I did my fast when I was younger. I had first 2 or 3 days, you kind of you groggy, and I think part of it's your mind getting used to it as well. So I was really low on energy, and but after about day 3 or day 4, I was jogging and running every day. I had so much energy from, even though I wasn't eating anything, that my body, what it was doing was burning fat. And so I got into trying fasting. And so last week I did a 4 or 5 day fast. And in that, this time around, when I hit day 5, I must have been doing something wrong because I just ran out of energy. And I was actually quite a ways away from here. And what I had to do is I had to go into a grocery store and buy a couple of slices of roast beef or something so I could make it home. I try not to eat as much beef, more of salmon or things like that. So I didn't have the energy, so I had to cut out my fast. I was hoping to go 10 days, but I only made it 5 this time around. So then I ate for a couple of days, and I'm back doing a 3 or 4 day fast. But my next thing, what I'm going to do is intermittent fasting. So I don't eat for, let's say, tomorrow's Wednesday. So tomorrow I won't eat until 3 in the afternoon. Then I'll have a nice big salad. And then I'll have I'm really big into salmon and stuff like that, more so than into roast beef or beef. And so during that window, I'll have salmon or some salad and some veggies and other things and some fiber. And then I'll have some really nice salmon before 7 o'clock comes around. And then I'm going to do a thing called intermittent fasting, then fast. And so on the day after, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast for the whole day. So you do intermittent fasting for 1 day, cut your window down, and what that window down is, it gives you more time to burn the fat. So the more you don't eat, the more you're not putting especially carbohydrates into your body, it gives you more time to burn fat. And if you start searching online, just throw in intermittent fasting and keto diet, you're going to learn tons. There's a guy named Thomas DeLorean, I think it is. If you search his stuff, he's got some really good information. There's a doctor, I think his name's Tong or Fong or something like that. He's actually really big in intermittent fasting and he'll explain everything. So what I'm going to do for the next little bit, and my goal is to get my weight down below 190 as soon as possible. And then I'll coast a little bit more until that gives me the rest of June, July, and August to get rid of the next 20 pounds. But this is just getting down this 20 pounds, getting rid of the alcohol and getting my weight down at least this far has given me so much more energy and given me to take action, which I've taken action on a bunch of things, including putting a scathing review online after I do this regarding the clinic down in Mexico, which you should avoid. Concum Cosmetic Dentistry, bad news, bad news. But since then, I've been able to start working on my teeth, to get my teeth ready for dentures. I've already had 4 teeth removed yesterday. Was it yesterday? Oh my God, it was. So I've recovered really quickly. I had 4 teeth in the front here removed yesterday, which gives me, much to my chagrin and much to my shame and disgust, is I'm going to have to get brace or dentures starting very soon. But so those are the 4 things. Number 1, my weight. I'm already down 15, 16 pounds. My blood pressure is back to normal. And my exercise, I'm exercising like crazy, and I'm already working on my teeth. And number 5, and most importantly going forward, is creating a really decent income for myself. But what all these other things have allowed me to do is they've given me the energy to go out and take massive action as far as creating income. And I've been researching online And the problem with online is there's so much information out there, and there's a lot of young kids that are trying to sell you $1,000 programs that you don't need to buy. There's a couple of people online that sometime in the future I'll tell you all about them. But if you want to start an online business, there's guys out there giving away everything that you'll be paying $1,000 for if you go to the wrong place. Do not buy any $1,000 courses. So a couple of months from now, hopefully I'll be showing you some income. I'll be showing you my weight down, but I'll just keep you informed and see how things are going a little bit at a time. Again, this is only about 3 weeks in, and I've lost 15, 16 pounds, and I hope I'll be down a couple more pounds tomorrow. And again, I hope I'm down by below 190 sometime over the next week or so. And then that gives me a couple of months to lose the last 20 pounds or so. I might go down below 170 if it feels I was there when I was younger. So anyways, I just want to inspire you. If I can do this, you can do this. You just got to say no to where you're at, and you just got to take action. And I have 100% faith in you. You can take massive action, and you can completely change your life. You just got to start now, but you also got to start here. You got to start telling yourself, I've almost forgot. I was a fan of Tony Robbins earlier, and Tony, there was a really good story when Tony started out. And he created an affirmation page about I'm unstoppable and I take massive action. God's abundance comes to me. And you can find it online, exactly what he says. And so he made that his mantra, like an hour a day or more. And look where he's at. He's made to $300-400 million and taken massive action. Like he teaches all this motivational stuff. And where he started out training with a guy named Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who started up a thing called neuro-linguistic programming. But he only took 5 or 6 days of it and then just said, the hell with this, and he ran with it. No certification, no anything. He just ran with it. And he's been able to make massive changes in his life. And because a lot of what holds us back, and I'll say this a million times, is what's between our ears. Both of them. What's between here? And most of the time, it's crap we picked up as kids. So when I started this process, I remembered some of Tony's stuff, and I took part of what he started, I remember what he had shared. And so I made my own affirmation page and a half, and then I recorded it, and I put it on my cell phone. And so when I go for a walk, headphones come in, and I play that affirmation, 4 or 5 minute affirmation, probably 10, 15, 20 times when I go out for my walks. My walks are generally an hour and a half long, and I just keep playing it over and over and over and over and over again. I'm unstoppable. I take massive action. And you just adapt it. You just say, I should put something in here. I'm not quite getting this going. Like I'm not creating enough of results and stuff. So make that one more thing in your mantra to change and to undo some of the programming. Because a lot of times we get really crappy programming when we're kids from our parents who don't know, not out of malice or anything, just out of their own ignorance. They just don't know any better, that they should be saying more positive things to us when we're kids. And sometimes we make up decisions about ourselves which are so detrimental to our lives and to our success. And I think we spend most of our life trying to undo it. So this is a really good way. So try the affirmations, put it on your headphones, create a page and a half of this is what I want in my life. I take massive action. I create everything I want in my life, and record it and listen to it. Get yourself some buds or whatever it is and put it on repeat and just go over and over and over again. And I'll tell you, something's changing in my life between the weight and everything else. Something's working, and I think this is one of the things that's contributing. So here's again, please take massive action. Make the changes you want in your life. You're never too old. You can always have a better quality life, and the time is to start right now. Love you. Take care.